Morning guys, welcome to the Urban Fresh detailing channel. Today we're going to install a 250 litre water tank into the back of our mobile detailing van. This is a new van for us, it's not something we've done before, so yeah, we're going to get the tank installed. Going to build a timber frame around it so it's in nice and secure. We'll screw the timbers to the floor, etc. But yeah, keep watching and we'll take you through a step-by-step process as best as we can, and hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
I'm going to get you a long nose garage girls on Kiss Street playing Kanye West.
Well, I'm indeed. Yes, it's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Well, on the town that lives on
Right, so what I want to do first is get a bit of timber across the floor, screwed in. I've already got one there at the back, just going to stop it from sliding that way, and it will be fixed to the bulkhead too. For the moment, get the tank sort of in position, turn this music down a little bit. Right. Right, so I've just cut a bit of timber to suit what I've measured, 1100. I'm going to try and put all the nasty cuttings down this side. Not too far, so it's going to be covered with plywood anyway. The timber I've chosen to use today for this, they call it the CLS studwork timber, 3x2. You can pick it up from Wickes's, B&Q, all the major DIY sort of shops. Now underneath the metal floor, impact driver, PH2 bit, some 70mm wood screws, which seem to be just going straight through the wooden floor and straight into the metal. So I'm getting quite a nice fixing with that. You will struggle if you use a normal drill, so if you're going to do this, I'd recommend an impact driver. It does help. As I said, I'm just using some 3-inch wood screws. I did go out and buy some metal cutting screws, some self-cutting countersunk screws, but they're not really biting into the metal properly. They're cutting through nicely, but then they're just spinning and they're not pulling down enough. So, but these are doing great. Now some of you may worry, think, oh, what about cables, pipes, etc. in the floor? What I have noticed from most vans, all the brake cables, the electric cables for the brake lights, they normally, well in this van, everything runs around the top there. Fuel line, everything's going to be underneath the van, so you know there shouldn't be anything under there to worry about. Someone may tell me that I'm wrong, but we'll soon find out. Okay, so I've managed to screw that down nicely. I saw that they ain't going anywhere. So now I'm just going to sort of put two uprights here, one across the top. Just going to sort of build up as I go really. Got a little plan in my head where I want it to be. I'm going to build a top across it. Hopefully that will create a nice little shelf so we can work from. Right back guys, so I've just cut up a few more bits of timber, just so I can carry on building this. Cut two little uprights to go there, bit of timber across the top, carry on from there. Alright. Right, so as it currently stands, I've got timber in place, not secured or anything at the minute, it's just a square frame. What I'm a little bit concerned about is the tank is pushed up against the bulkhead, and the bulkhead sort of is at an angle, so at the bottom there's a big gap, there's a bit of timber the other side of this, just to roll it upright. But the top here sits against the bulkhead. I'm a little bit worried that it's going to squeak, you know, there's going to be a bit of movement, so when I'm driving around there's going to be some squeaking. What I want to do is just put a bit of silicone along the back line, the bulkhead, and hopefully that'll stop any squeaking sounds when travelling. And I don't want the two rubbing together either. Right, that should work quite nicely then. I'll continue getting the timber all in place while that sets, but yeah, that should work nicely.
Were you around when the two original records came out?
Right, so you've probably just seen me screw 3 bits of timbering going that way. What I'm going to keep doing now is get some 90-degree little angle brackets, and I'm going to put them in sort of in the corners, drilling through the metal, screw into the wood. That'll hold that nice and tight against the bulkhead. And as I do that, I'll screw up level. You see it's wobbling about all over the place. That should bring it all quite nice and tight then, and we'll move into the next step. Right, so for the next step then, guys, as I said, we'll screw these timbers, these 3 timbers that I've got there fixed in place. I need to anchor them to the bulkhead. What I will use are these 90-degree angle brackets. You probably can't see from back there, it's quite difficult. They're perfect, so they'll fit in there like so. I'll take some closer pictures sort of when I've finished the bits and pieces, so you can put it all together and understand if you're struggling to see back there. Right, so just been to sort out a little selection of screws for putting these 90-degree angle brackets in place. As you can see on the bracket itself, you've got your 2 holes there that are fixed, and then you've got these sort of elongated holes. I'll screw this side to the timber, and then I'll use the elongated sides on the bulkhead, because that way I can get the screw in place, level the frame, and then just nip it up to secure it. That way it'll sort of slide backwards and forwards. I've got these little 1/2-inch self tappers. They'll do for the metal, securing to the metal. I'll probably use a 3mm drill bit, just to do a little pilot hole, as they're not self-cutting. And then for fixing the bracket to the timber, I've just found some 32mm drywall screws in the shed. They'll do. You can use anything, you know. Doesn't have to be drywall screws, 1.5-inch wood screws, 1-inch wood screws, whatever you've got really. Right then guys, so the timber frame's now built around the tank, secured to the floor, secured to the bulkhead. It's nice and rigid, it's holding the tank in place. What I want to do next, the next part of the video will be to cover it in plywood. I'll probably use like 11mm ply, something like that. I'll put a piece across the front here, piece across the top, piece down the side to stop the tank from sliding out. Although it's in pretty rigid anyway, but once it's full of water, it's a different kettle of fish. What I'm going to do with the ply is I'm going to measure my frame already as it is now, go to the builders merchants, get them to cut the sheets ready so I can just pop back, screw them all in place. So I'll take some measurements of that. Now my filling points at the top, I said I will put some ply across the top. I'm going to need access to the fill point, to the lid. I could cut in something on the side if I wanted to, put a float valve in or something, but you know, I'm not going to do that. So I'll probably just cut a little circle out of the top part so I can get access into the lids. So I don't want to keep this as a nice little shelf just to work from, maybe hold some bottles, some tools in or whatever. But yeah, into the next part. Welcome back to the Oven Fresh Detailing channel. Now this is the next part of the video, installing a box around the water tank. I previously took some measurements, I've been away, got some plywood pre-cut, and we're ready to install it. Right, so here's one piece that I've had pre-cut. That seems to fit quite nicely, so I'm pleased with that. Okay, so we've got the top and the front piece there, just rested in place for now. I've had them pre-cut, so I've took the measurements, and yeah, they fit quite nicely, so I'm pleased with that. And we can move on to the next part. Right, what we're going to do now then, so I've got the two pieces of wood ready, the front, top. I've got some leftover carpet that I used to do the side of the van, so I'm going to use some of that leftover carpet to put around the front piece and the top piece, a little bit like this here. It just finishes it off quite nicely rather than having the plain wood on the show. Okay. Okay guys, so I've just put some carpet over the two pieces of plywood that I've had cut. As you can see there at the back, and there will be the face side there. Just finishes it off, makes it look nice and clean, what we want. Okay, so this is the top piece then. Okay, so they're rested in place. I'm going to put a couple of screws in just to hold them in place now. Okay then, so the front's all screwed on, top's all screwed on, carpeted. Quite pleased with the results so far. It's looking nice. Just round to doing the side now. Right, okay then guys, so the box is now complete around the tank. definitely finishes it off. Would recommend you do it. If you've liked the video, please subscribe, and we'll see you soon.